Welcome you guys to our 5 to 8 star series. We are so excited to bring forth this brand new training opportunity for you guys. Like I said, I like to do this every single year around this time of year. A busy mom of four, it's hard to put together trainings for my team. So around this time, I love bringing forth all of our top coaches to put together some good material for you guys. So I want to encourage you guys to bring your new coaches onto these calls. This is going to be a 7-week series. We've pushed out calls for 7 weeks. So hopefully that will make it a little bit easier for you guys to run your teams during this busy season. I see a lot of babies on. So hopefully this helps you guys. I do recommend getting a notebook specifically for this training so that you can go back after these 7 weeks and go through the material, because we have a lot to put down for you guys. So this is going to be a good 7 weeks. Hopefully you guys show up every single week, because we've got a lot of good stuff for you. And like I said, bring your new coaches on. And I even recommend if you're talking to someone right now and they're contemplating becoming a coach, get them on these calls. Let them see what this is about. Let them feel this community that we have, all these spaces on here. Let them feel and be a part of that, because I've done that before, and I guarantee when they see this and they feel the energy, they're going to want to sign up with us. Okay, so I encourage you guys to bring your people that you've been talking to, anybody that's been considering becoming a coach, and get your new coaches on. Okay, so we're going to not waste any more time. I'm going to let Dettra, is that how you say it, Danny? I always say it wrong. I am going to let her take the stage, and we are going to be talking about leadership mindset. So take it away, baby.
All right. Okay, I have a presentation to share. It always is really, really slow whenever I do this, so just bear with me through the awkwardness of how long this takes to present.
Right.
Okay, so this is something that I just started presenting on recently. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dettra. I live in Portland, Oregon with my darling husband, John, and my daughter, Chloe. She's 3.5, about to turn 4. I've been a coach since 2015. I am an 8-star diamond in my first business center, a 5-star diamond in my second business center, and a soon-to-be 1-star in my third business center. I was a 2019 and 2020 Premier coach, and in 2021, we hit Elite. We are currently ranked number 90 in the network, and we've already locked in Premier for 2022. So we will be an Elite team again. And like I said, I've been a coach since 2015, and although I've had success since I've been a coach, I felt like my success was slower than what I was hoping for or what I had imagined. And so, although I have improved every single year, it wasn't as fast as I was hoping for, but now I can look back on the journey and be like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at the time that I'm supposed to be here. And I think it's really easy in this business to think like, I am working so hard. Why don't I have this? Why am I not there? Why am I not earning this? Why am I not ranked this? Why does she have that? And I just want to say that if someone is outranking you or out earning you, it's because of their hard work. It's not because of luck. It's not because of how much time they've been in the business, right? Because there will be people who will come in today and go to the top of the company by the end of the year, right? There'll be people who come in today and do nothing with their coach account and quit, and every scenario in between. So time is really irrelevant in our business. And I think that is one of the things that for a lot of coaches, we have to let go of. Like, well, I've been a coach for 6 years, I should be this. No, you shouldn't. You should only be where as hard as you have worked, and be realistic with yourself about actually how hard are you working. Just because you're staring at your phone for 8 hours a day does not mean that you're building a business. So it's not about the time that you've been in or the time that you have. It's about what you do with the time that you put towards your business. So one of the reasons that I wanted to do this presentation, excuse me, I'm sick, so if I start hacking up alone. One of the reasons I wanted to do this presentation is because of the mental shift that I really had to go through last year and the beginning of this year to keep moving my business forward. Excuse me, literally dying. So these were kind of the bullet points that brought this presentation to my mind. But first, before we get there, I want to just, so you leave this call today feeling empowered, feeling enough, and that you are capable of anything. Because if Beachbody has taught me anything, it's that literally anything is possible when you just put in the work and you decide not to give up. So I want you to know that you are somebody worth celebrating and somebody worth going the extra mile for. I see so many incredible women come into this business with unlimited amounts of potential, but they cannot get out of their own way, or they cannot let go of the fears that they have. 1 second, sorry. Okay. All right. You know what? I don't think the iPad's going to work today, okay? Sorry about this. The internet's not working, so everybody's losing their minds. Okay, so here were the bullet points on why this presentation came to life. I'm a type 3 on the Enneagram, so achieving is my jam. Like, I freaking love it. Like, I'm like, what can I achieve? What can I get? I want my name in lights. I want Beachbody to build a statue of me. Like, I want all those things, and I'm perfectly okay with saying that, because that's just who I am. Like, I want to achieve. It's important to me. My self-limiting belief for the longest time was I can't help others find the same success that I have. And so when we have these negative thoughts and we play them on a feedback loop, we actually perpetuate the problem that we're trying to avoid. So by me telling myself for years and years and years and years, I continually miss these huge goals like elite and 5-star and all of these things that I so desired, because I was feeding my brain these negative thoughts. So every time something would happen, that was evidence to my brain that, oh, that's why you're not an elite team. Oh, that's why you're not a 5-star diamond. Oh, that's not why you're not earning this amount of money. And so this presentation is really going to help you when you have those negative thoughts on what you can do and how you can move forward from them. So some of the reasons why I believe that is because my very first diamond in the business, who I thought was like my best friend, like we were peanut butter and jelly, literally one night just sent me an email in the middle of the night letting me know I'm the worst person in the world. I only care about myself. I don't want anyone else to have success, and a lot more terrible things that really don't do much for your confidence or for your ego. And so it wasn't actually that situation, although it hurt. But now that I've worked on myself so much, it's not the situation that I'm hurt by. It's what I'm making that situation mean. And what I was making that situation mean was, if she thinks that, then everybody thinks that. And when we think something like that, we have to stop ourselves and say, okay, number one, is this thought serving me? Clearly not, right? And then number two, do I want to continue to believe this thought? So I continued to believe that thought for a really long time, and then wondered why my business was not moving at the pace that I wanted it to move. And then my second diamond, who got us to 2-star, she not only isn't a coach on our team, or she not only isn't a diamond anymore, she's not a coach on our team anymore. So I started building up all this evidence to prove to myself, because that was the question I was continually asking my brain, is why I'm not successful, why I can't help others. Well, look at all this evidence. Your first diamond hates you, didn't want to hang out anymore, even though she's still a coach on the team, which is so bizarre. Second diamond quit, like next diamond makes jabs at you all the time. Like, there was just a lot of evidence that my brain was finding to support this self-limiting belief. And then at the end of 2019, I had to do a lot of soul searching, because I really believed 2019 was going to be our year. We hit 3-star in the beginning of the year. January, first elite report came out. We were number 26 in the company. I'm like, this is it. All of this freaking hard work, all of this terrible stuff that happened, all of this hurt, all of this hard work, it's coming to fruition. And we ended 2019 a 1-star team, and I was the star. And I'm like, this is not what I envisioned in any possible way. Like, how am I a coach 4 years in now and I'm the only diamond on the team? And so I had to let go of these limiting beliefs. I had to let go of the chips on my shoulder that I had. And I really had to change my mindset around how I was running my team. And I did. And 2020 success came in so freaking fast and so freaking hard, it made my head spin. And on April 1st, we were a 1-star team, me still the star. And by April 23rd, we were 6-star qualifying. At the end of that qualification, we were not only a 6-star team, but we had locked in elite. So a goal that I had missed for 4 years straight took us 5 months to hit. And after that, because that's literally what I was chasing for the last 5 years, I became paralyzed. Like I almost had PTSD from it, because as a type 3, I'm always like, now what? Now what? Now what? And I didn't know what, because that had been my entire journey for the last 5 years. Was every year like, okay, we're hitting elite and then we miss it. Okay, we're hitting elite and then we missed it. And now here we were on June 1st and I didn't know what to do. And by the end of July, I had 5 more personally sponsored diamonds pop. That put us into 8-star and 4-star. By the end of August, I had 2 more personally sponsored diamonds pop. That put us into 9 and 5. One of the diamonds dropped during qual, so we ended 8 and 5. I got to open my 3rd business center, and I just felt like it was this humongous tidal wave. And when it came down hard. A girl spliced up my national wake up call and put it on an anti-MLM YouTube. A girl that used to be on my team was like literally posting about me and bashing me every single day. And people, trying to be nice to me were sending it to me. So I'm having to see this every single day. I had some coaches on my team who tried to switch to another elite coach. Like, I felt like after all of that success in 2020, like the freaking hits just kept coming. And I literally was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to like go after these huge goals because we've just had so many. So do we keep pushing, or is that selfish of me? And I think I got so in my head that my energy was just off, and I started skipping workouts. I started gaining weight. I stopped doing my tracker. I stopped taking pictures. I stopped getting ready. My confidence was literally in the toilet, and my Success Club numbers started dropping. Side note, never miss Success Club and I never will. So just mind you, no matter how freaking bad I'm feeling, I'll never let my business go by the wayside. But I was not being my best self, and I certainly wasn't being the superstar diamond coach that I know that I am. And we did 2 attempts at superstar, both failed. Not even one new person advanced during those pushes. So the imposter syndrome was screaming so loud. I'm like, I have to do something because this isn't working. So I ended up hiring a life coach, somebody that is not biased, isn't just going to blow smoke up my ass and tell me how awesome I am, but that somebody's going to call me on my shit, and that somebody I can actually talk to this about, that understands like what I'm going through. And this is where I started changing my thoughts, because the thoughts that I was having wasn't serving me. So everything in our life is a result of our thoughts. And please believe that you don't have a choice on the thoughts that come in, but you have a choice on the thoughts that you choose to believe. So shift number 1, it's okay that not everyone likes me. It's okay that that diamond doesn't like me. It's okay that she believes all the things that she said about me to be true, because they might be true for her. They're not true for me. It's okay if people must misunderstand me. It's okay if I put big goals out there, and if somebody takes that as me being selfish or me feeding into my ego, that's okay, because I know it comes from a genuine place of wanting to see women on the team shine and live up to their true potential. I will be okay if certain people think certain things about me that are not true. And I know this is so hard for everyone, because everyone wants to be liked by everyone. But raise your hand if there's people in this world that you don't like. So if there's people that you don't like, it's okay if people don't like you. And I know it's hard, but why are we vying so hard for the approval of people that we don't even like? It's crazy. Okay, so again, the reason you're hurting is because of the way you feel about the thoughts you're having around the situation, not the situation itself. So when something happens to you and you're feeling negative about it or you're feeling down about it, I want you to ask yourself, what am I making this mean? Like the situation with my first diamond. I was making that mean that what she said was true for everybody. But there's so much evidence to prove that that's not true. Just because one person feels that way about me, and again, it might be totally true for her, and that's okay. That's okay if she thinks that because it's not true for me. So then ask yourself, is this fact? Most of the time you'll say, no, it is not fact. And then you get to decide if you believe it or not. That's all it is. That's all our thoughts are. Is this thought serving me? Is it fact? Am I going to choose to believe this? Now, this isn't just like, oh, I think this and now I'm cured and everything's fine. No, you are going to struggle. You're going to have to ask yourself that, but your brain doesn't know what's fact or what's fiction. Your brain only knows what you choose to tell it repeatedly. So you actually get to decide what's true and what's false, and your brain will believe whatever you tell it. So if you are believing all these negative things, you have to learn to start asking yourself better questions. Okay, shift 2, ask yourself better questions. So this one is really hard for me. I'll tell you, in February, when I started with my life coach, I told her, we're not going to hit elite this year. It's not going to happen. Like, I don't have, like, my 2021 class of coaches, they don't seem to want to get moving. You know, I lost a lot of really great 2019 coaches. You know, no one's even getting to Emerald anymore. I was like spiraling in all this negativity. And last month we locked in Premier, and we will lock in elite. Probably not this month, but next month, or this month we'll lock in elite because we didn't lock it in last month. Okay. So I had to change my thoughts, because is the thought, we're not going to hit elite, serving me? No, I'm going to perpetuate exactly what I don't want. And that's what most coaches do. They sit in their negativity. They sit in, nobody likes my post. Nobody wants to sign up. No one takes my polls. None of my coaches are doing anything. Blah, blah, blah. Laundry list of negativity, right? And then that's exactly what they get. And then they say, oh, told you this doesn't work. Oh, works for you, but not for me. That just wasn't for me. Well, nice for you, but not for me, right? But we literally create exactly what we think. So in those situations, you need to ask yourself better questions. How can I show up today with more energy so people can see how amazing this is? How can I support the ladies on my team to get to their goals, not mine? What can I do to improve my social media so that people really hear the message that I'm trying to share? What can I do to be more efficient in filling out my tracker every single day instead of making excuses? Ask yourself better questions, because your brain will go to work to find evidence for whatever you ask it. So if you ask it better questions, it will find you better answers. Okay, again, when those negative thoughts come in, number 1, is this thought serving me? I think most of the time you will see it is not. Me telling my life coach I'm not even going to hit elite, and it's February, as if there was no time left in the year, was wild, right? That thought was not serving me. And then, bless you, sweetie. And then I had to decide if I believed that. And in my core, I know that's not true. We freaking locked elite in 5 months last year. You bet your ass we're going to hit elite this year. Like, I don't believe that that's even true. I was just spiraling in negativity. So guess what was coming to me? Negativity. Then you need to ask yourself, how can I flip this and use it to my advantage? So I just had this conversation this morning with a coach. It's like, when you feel like your team is stagnant or nobody wants to do anything anymore, everyone's off in la la land, right? I always take a step back and I'm like, what is the energy that I'm bringing? If my team is dying, it's because I'm dying. So how can I flip this and use it to my advantage? How can I show up differently for my team? How can I show them that I struggle too, but I'm still in the trenches? I'm still helping people despite my struggles. How can I show them that I understand their feelings and I empathize with them, but that there are too many people to help to sit and spiral and worry about things that probably aren't going to come true anyways? Okay. And then lastly, what is the lesson I need to learn from this? I think this is the most important one because sometimes the lesson that I learned from that diamond leaving is that I don't think we would be an elite team if she was still here. Because looking back, I can see that that situation was really negative. We spent a lot of time gossiping, right? I don't want to be that person. That's not how I want to represent my life and my team. So that was a freaking blessing in disguise that she left. So sometimes our biggest struggles turn into our biggest successes. All right, so what can you do when negative thoughts creep in? Act as if your thought is a toddler. I'm going to use this example. Chloe goes to preschool on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They have gym on Thursdays. When they go in the gym, all her little friends, they all line up on the blue line, and then teacher tells them the game, and then they play their game. A couple weeks ago, when I picked her up, Mrs. Rude, her teacher, was like, Chloe had a little bit of a meltdown today. We got to gym and we got lined up, and she started crying and shaking, and asked her what's wrong. And she said she was afraid of the blue line. A little silly, right? Now, I could look at her and be like, Chloe, it's a blue line. There's nothing to be scared of. Why are you even thinking that? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, just play, right? Now, obviously, I wasn't there. Or I could say, what about the blue line scared you? Like, has it always scared you or was this something new? And I can be curious and I can allow her to feel her thoughts because her thoughts are valid, right? Just like your thoughts of fear and worry and anxiety are valid. Now you can think them, but you need to process and feel through them. You do not have to believe them. Now, I don't believe there's anything scary about the blue line, but she did. So I'm not going to make her feel bad about them. And I'm not going to tell her she's stupid for believing that. I'm going to ask her questions, allow her to work through it. So don't resist these thoughts when you come in. You might have the thought when negative comes in, like, what is wrong with me? Like, gosh, I'm doing all this work to be positive and work on myself. And all these negative thoughts are coming in, like, something's wrong with me. No, nothing's wrong with you. You're human. Your brain is wired to protect you. And when something feels out of the norm, new, your brain thinks that danger is upon you and they want to protect you. But what happens is your brain trying to protect you will hold you back from the greatness that you're meant to have. So don't resist your thoughts, allow them in, but don't jump in the pool with them. You do not have to believe the thoughts that come in. So if it's a thought you've had before, your brain will go to work to find evidence on why it's true. So your brain will continue to offer you that, right? So if you don't work through it, then your brain's going to continue to offer you that same thought, right? And shift 3 is out of ego and into purpose. Oh, wow. And this is probably the hardest one for me because I am a type 3. And again, I want my name and lights. I want all of it. Where's my statue? Like, I want it. Okay. But you have to let go. Ego at the door, right? When you're in qualification and an emerald is about to go inactive and they're not responding, like, you got to send the message again, right? You cannot worry about what people are going to think or how others are going to perceive you. Because if your purpose is to build this business and help other women do that same thing, then you do whatever it takes to do that because that's true and genuine to you. And there is nothing more genuine than wanting to help others. So you can't worry about what is she going to think? What is my team going to say? They're going to think I'm selfish. You cannot worry about any of that because if someone thinks that, then that's their thought. You don't have to believe that it's true. So my purpose is to be a loving, affectionate wife, a patient and present mama, and a superstar with joy. I'm going to be the top of this company and I'm going to build it with so much freaking joy and love in my heart, not overwhelm, not anxiety, not burnout, not anything that comes negative. But I'm going to do it with purpose and my family's going to be a part of it. So any questions on that?
Sorry, guys, you have to unmute yourselves if you have a question. Or is it stuck on me? Raise your hand if you have a question. Maybe I can find you. Anybody? Nobody wants to pick Danny's brain? No?
And if you're a new coach and you're like, okay, well, I haven't had, the experience or the the struggles or anything like that, like put it into context for your struggle. So maybe you're not even worried about elite, right? Maybe you're just trying to get to emerald, or you're just trying to get to diamond. But this same concept, these same thoughts and these same exercises work at any level. So it doesn't matter if you're 6 days in or 6 years in, right? Your thoughts are going to create emotions in you, and your emotions are going to control the actions that you take. And you will never have a positive outcome when you take action from a negative mindset. So this has been something I've been working on really, really hard, because I do constantly, obviously it was February and I'm like, we're not hitting elite. I need to slow my roll, right? And the sky is not falling all of the time. So something that I did, I bought a cute little Disney journal. I love Disney. And I write down one win of the day every single day, because it is really easy for me to think that the sky is falling, or think that none of my coaches are doing anything when I have 8 coaches who count for Elite and Success Club, right? Like I just naturally go to that spot, and there's nothing wrong with me. And if you're the same, there's nothing wrong with you. You just have to ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Because remember, your thoughts are going to create the emotions. Your emotions are going to dictate your actions. And if you're thinking, well, no one's doing anything, nothing positive is going to come from that. So you have to flip that around. How can I use this to my advantage? How can I help more women get started in this business and get moving quicker than what I'm currently doing? Right? So it always kind of comes back to us. And I just really believe that we, as the leaders of our team, whether you're a team of 1 right now or a team of 1,000, doesn't matter. Like, you are the energy. If you are dying, your team is dying. So what a great freaking excuse to show up every single day as your best self. And that's a question I've had to ask myself, is like, is what I'm doing right now Danny as her best self? And if the answer is no, then I need to change what I'm doing.
Oh, I love that so much, Danny. There's a couple questions in the chat. I wanted to ask them. Nicole asks, how do you help your new coaches understand this?
I think for me, this has really challenged me to be a better leader, because it's helped me to ask better questions of them. So when they're frustrated and someone was going to sign up as a coach and now they're totally ghosting them, right? It's like, okay, we can't sit in this negativity because there's too many people out there to help. So let's go do that, because you're meant for greatness and I'm here to help you. So let's get out there and do what we can. She'll be back anytime, once she sees that you're not going anywhere, right? So it's really helped me shift the way I talk to my coaches and the way I help them through, right? So validating what they're feeling, right? Because again, their thoughts are valid and there's nothing wrong with them, but not letting them sit in the spiral of negativity, right? Because I know how detrimental it is to their business, especially if they're a new coach. They don't have all this proof like I do. Like anytime I want to say like things aren't going well, my coach tells me, all right, write down that thought and then write down 30 reasons why that thought isn't true. And you'll sit there and you'll find all this evidence on why that thought isn't true. And then you're like, oh, okay, now I'm just being a silly goose. I need to get out of the pond, right? This has been very beneficial for me in the way that I show up, in the way that I coach my new coaches.
Okay, one more question. What shift would you recommend focusing on first?
I think the biggest sign of growth is when you are aware that this is just like you're in a negative spiral. Because years ago, like when that whole diamond thing happened, I mean, I was like lost. Like I felt like a lost pup. Like I was like getting on like 3 to 5 Zooms a day, just like trying to like fill the void, because her and I used to talk every single day. We'd hang out 2 to 3 times a week. And when that was like gone, like I didn't know what to do. And then I went through more funks in that year than I'd ever imagined. Like I had even Trina Gray is my up line. And I remember messaging her and I'm like, I can't do this. And that was the month that I hit SC60 to get into the morning meltdown test group. Like, again, the sky's always, I'm like fucking Chicken Little over here. Like, the sky's always falling, right? She's like, you can't do this. What are you talking about? You just got in the morning meltdown test group because you freaking knocked Success Club out of the park. So I think the awareness is going to be the biggest, because when you're not aware that you're in that spiral of thoughts, then you just sit there and you're like, what's wrong with me? And then you just perpetuate that negative cycle. So now I'm more aware of like, okay, this isn't serving me, right? Like, what can I do to flip this? What energy can I bring today? That is my favorite. What energy do I want to bring to this? So maybe there's a task you hate. I'll just say it, inviting, right? If you sit down and you're like, oh God, how am I going to put any freaking names on here? Nobody wants to do this. That's exactly what you're going to get. But if you sit down and you're like, what is the energy that I want to bring to this right now? Hardworking women flow freely to me. I am recruiting star diamond coaches and above. I'm $1 million earner a year with Beachbody. Brr, whatever your affirmations are. And then you sit down and do your invites. Boom. Good things are going to happen to you.
I truly, truly believe that. And you guys, I've said this before in some of our other calls. I literally sit there before I go to invite and I say, hey, God, bring me the people that need me. Bring me the people that need this. And as soon as you change that thinking before you start sending out those invites, it does a world of difference. It really does. Okay, so this was awesome, Danny. I appreciate your time. You guys, I will put the recording up in the chats. I'll also make a file with all of these calls in one place that you can upload into your team pages as well. So who can agree with me that we're all going to change our thinking today? Right? We're all going to change our thinking because we're all superstars and we're worth going the extra damn mile. Can I get an amen? Yes. All right, honeys. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you here next Wednesday.